Check, check, 1, 2. There it is. Last week, as we were on the air from Daytona, the real-life NLS 4 race from the Nürburgring was taking place, during which a tragic accident occurred in which 7 cars would slide off the circuit and would tragically take the life of Juha Miettinen, a driver with over 20 years of experience at the Nürburgring. It is a reminder to us all just how dangerous racing inherently is and the consequences it can have. So today, the Scorpio eSports cars will be running a black nose cone, and the AMS cars are running full black liveries in Juha's honor. From everyone here involved with the Scorpio team and the Scorpio Super Formula Series, we would like to take a moment of silence as our thoughts and prayers remain with the Miettinen family and to all those who knew him well. May Juha rest in peace. He was 66 years old. Thank you. Motorsports is full of superstitions. They stem from just about every corner of the stat book, but none are more prevalent than the 4-in-a-row buffer. While not inachievable, it has proven to be one of the toughest accomplishments in motor racing. In its over 75-year history, only 15 drivers have ever achieved such a feat in Formula One. Only additional 8 drivers have ever done so in NASCAR. And as for IndyCar, that number could be counted on a single hand. In a sport so often closely contended, it is no surprise achieving 4 wins in a row has proven so difficult, which is why today's race could be all that much more special. Coming into today's race, AMS Super S2K currently sits on a 3-race win streak. This isn't necessarily anything new to him, as he achieved this same feat last year. But then everything fell apart as he fell out of contention on lap 1 at Le Mans. But now, at Petit Le Mans, he has a second opportunity, as another shot at glory. Can he find himself in that ever-exclusive 4-in-a-row club? But before we head down for qualifying, let's take a look at our race recap from Daytona. What followed, however, was a display of driving unlike anything we've seen in this series. As S2K began to close back in on Larson, whose tires were starting to fall off, S2K would go for a spin, exiting the bus stop chicane, dropping back down to 4th place. He would quickly get passed by Grez and his teammate Ryan, but eventually found himself back on the gearbox of Larson, but a full pit stop behind. At the halfway point, S2K was 25 seconds back from the lead. Having pit onto soft tires, we would watch in awe as by some miracle, S2K took out more than half of Larson's lead before the pair pit again. Larson would undercut onto another set of mediums, while S2K extended to 16 laps ago to pit onto another set of softs. He would claw back the remaining 12-second deficit to Larson, and after Larson had a moment exiting the bus stop chicane of his own, S2K would take the lead around the outside going into turn 1 with just 4 laps to go, and would go on to his 11th Scorpio Super Formula victory, which inherently also means he has a 50% win race in this series. Can he find win number 12 today? We will soon see, because the track is clear and we are green for qualifying, as we have just 9 minutes remaining in today's session at Road Atlanta. Pei has returned to the grid once again, as you can see on circuit, again sporting that black nose cone, as are most of the Scorpio cars here today. little bit of a wide run through into the S's though, so he's going to take it back to pit lane and reset, try to go again. All drivers just currently finishing their outlaps for the moment. So Peme will stay right out of the way for all those on their hot lap. Again to mention, no dirty air for these cars, so they will not need to worry about that in qualifying. It is purely just physical blocking that these drivers need to look out for. And so coming around, first going to be across the line to hopefully set a new lap. Guzman with a big snap of oversteer though, took a little too much curb going through turn 10. But he will drop down the hill, crossing the line now, and sets the pace at a 1:04.5. Still room for improvement, though, as you would have seen from the exit of that final chicane. And already time's tumbling as Guzman goes wide. Alex taking net pole position at the moment, a 1:02.2. Very fast lap from him. He's been on the pace so far today in practice. Ramanos currently in second position for the moment as he picks up a half-second time penalty for track limits. That will also be another major talking point for today's running, is how well these drivers are going to be able to stay on the gray stuff. Vader has slotted himself into third place as newcomer TWC finds himself into second place. A driver joined the series, or signed up for the series just earlier today. So it should be very exciting to see how well the Dutchman can drive. As it looks like Ryan has found himself preliminarily into sixth place. If I can find the button, jeez. Ryan has slotted himself into sixth place for the time being. A little ways off of Alex for the moment, but still plenty of qualifying to go here today. Quackadilly has found himself up into fifth. Supa to the top. He's been on pace so far through practice here today. First driver into the 101s and 3/10 up on Alex, but a huge stab of oversteer, and that's going to drop him back into the pit lane. Ryan has put himself up into second and only 0.02 of a second behind Supa. And here he comes, Mr. Consistent, AMS S2K. Net pole position by almost half a second already. He wants that fourth in a row. And I'm sure, as you will probably have noticed, Larson is not here today. Taking a week off, but we do expect him to be back for future race, for the rest of the races this season. So, wishing him the best. Hopefully he's found himself a nice comfy chair to sit back and watch the racing action here today. Okay, currently 3/10 down on his previous best lap, but this lap would still put him on net pole position at the moment. As he fires it down through that final corner. 1:01.7 as he's going to return to the pit lane and get ready to go again. Just past the halfway point here at Road Atlanta. And the beautiful thing about having such a short lap, these drivers are really going to be able to get a lot of attempts for a fast lap in here. As Gramenos puts himself onto the front row of the grid. And only a couple hundredths ahead of Supa. As he returns to the pit lane, set up for another fast lap. Supa seems to be on a flying lap at the moment. It's right on board with him as he comes into the final chicane. A 10th up at the moment. Looking for a little more pace if he wants to try to take the fight to S2K. As he crests the hill, drops down through the final corner, and over the line it is a 1:01.782, and that puts him within 3.5 tenths of S2K. flat out through turn 1. Missed the apex of the S's, and that's going to force him to back off and try to go again. Ryan with a half-second penalty on this flying lap, but he should still have plenty of tire to go for, or tire and fuel to go for another lap before resetting. So everyone should be able to get another 2 runs of, 2 pairs of flying laps in before the end of this, as we have just 3 minutes to go here. Completely flat out. Such a planted car it looked like through turn 1. Super fast over the crest of the hill as he drops down into the S's. Through a very tricky turn 7. A little bit of a moment potentially from the back end. 10th up on his personal best. As it looks like he's on pace for the moment to find himself onto the front row of the grid. Great exit out of turn 9. He will run down the back straightaway once again. May with a new personal best lap for himself. Still a little ways down though. As Ryan now comes up to the final chicane. Gets a good exit, nice, smooth, and clean. As he will run down through the final corner over the line. It will be a 101.648. For Ryan, puts him within a few tenths of S2K, who did go faster himself as well, a 101.218. A great lap for himself. So it's an AMS 1-2 for the moment. Remains an AMS 1-2. Supa on an outlap once again. Should be able to get back to the line in time for at least one more lap, potentially 2. Vader has found himself back up into 4th place. Going to be leading the charge for Foxhound. Alex puts it onto the front row. 6 thousandths of a second over Ryan. And he's going for another one. Little bit of extra curve as he we're gonna ignore the fact that he just ramped off a signage board there. That is not what happened in game. I don't think I've ever seen a car do that in a replay cam before. That was very funny. I believe YouTube allows for clips. If someone in chat wants to clip that was hilarious. Crackadilly, do a fastest lap for himself. Ryan still in 3rd. He's on a flying lap now. Jump back on board with Alex as he comes up to finish his lap. Can he take the fight to S2K here today? Runs a wide line. Oh, he was setting up. Ran a very wide line so that way he could get as much momentum for turn 1 as possible on this lap. He is on a flyer now. Ryan down the back straightaway, trying to close in. Alex absolutely tearing it down through the S's. A little wide, but man, what momentum did he carry through there? Ekro with a new personal best for himself a little further down. Supa finds his way onto the front row. A 10th and a half up on Alex. Qualifying is over. Ryan puts it in onto the front row. 2 tenths down from S2K. We're going to keep our focus on Alex here. Can he get himself onto that front row again? As S2K finds even more pace. A 101.1. And Alex over the line. Where's he going to end up? Faster, but not enough. It will be 4th place for the front-running Scorpio driver. And one more car over the line. That is TWC. 7th place on debut. Not bad. Very solid result around here. Again, lap time so close. So will be very interesting to see how he's able to fare for race pace now. But certainly, once again, I think he is... Larson got pole position at Autopolis. But that is S2K now with 4 out of 5 pole positions so far this season, and a monster 169 fastest lap. Ryan will line up second on the grid, a 101.4, great lap from him, and just barely edging out Supa at a 101.498. And then Alex, of course, we mentioned 4th place. Vader will line up 5th. Greminos in 6th. TWC, the newcomer, in 7th, followed by Guzman. Payme in 9th. Quackadilly rounding out the grid here today. Boy, what a hectic qualifying that was. So with the grid now set, let's take a quick overview of our drivers and teams championships, starting off with the drivers. S2K currently leads the championship by 17 points over his teammate Ryan. Larson, who again isn't here today, so we expect to drop down in the standings a bit before drop rounds are included. Currently at 24 points off the lead. Supa and Greminos round out the top 5 in the standings. They, however, are very closely followed up by the rest of the top 10. Guzman, Alex, Vader, Ekro, and Rybird, all of whom are within 10 points of each other. And then as for the team's championship, AMS continues to build on their lead, but a strong showing from Foxhound last time out at Daytona minimized the gains that they were able to achieve, as now AMS leads the team's championship by 47 points. Meanwhile, things have continued to heat up between Simpulse and Scorpio, who find themselves tied at 69 points behind Apex. Both teams will be looking to for some more strong showings in order to hopefully start closing that gap back up. We've also had a few rule changes to hopefully fight some of our recent lag issues, along with fixing a few unintended consequences. We will be trialing a rolling start here today. This procedure hopefully will reduce the amount of turn 1 pileups we've had caused by lag. Perhaps more notably, though, the long-time repair penalties that we have run here in Scorpio are no more. Drivers are now, if they pick up damage, are now able to service their cars as in-game intended. So no more restrictions on repairs and when repairs can be done in terms of whether or not they can also take tires. Refueling, as always, still not allowed. Blue flags, have also been amended. Infringements will now face more severe penalties, and drivers are now required to let the leaders through when the leaders get within 2 seconds behind them. As always, we still have our mandatory use of the soft tire at some point in the race. And, of course, we mentioned it in qualifying. Be sure to keep an eye out for track limit penalties, especially ones for violations through the S's. We saw cresting that hill, drivers getting a little too liberal with the use of the first apex curb. You can hop it and run a very fast time, but you have to keep 2 tires on the pavement at all times. And while we await the start of the race, we'll give a quick update on Scorpio's IRL performance. Very quickly, as it looks like we're about to get going. Scorpio Motorsport had their first weekend in GB4 today at Silverstone, finishing 11th and 13th out of 29 cars. A very respectable effort. We're going to wish both our drivers the best of luck tomorrow for a great race, which you can catch on YouTube, as Ivan will be posting live stream links for everyone to watch in the Scorpio Esports Discord. Link will be up in the description after the race here today. It looks like we are about ready to get underway once again. Can S2K claim victory once again and earn his unprecedented fourth in a row? Or will someone else find the pace to take the fight to him? 73 laps here from the Peach State. We are underway. And Ryan immediately, with a great start, immediately trying to close in. Everyone single file up through turn 1 as they head down into the S's immediately. S2K with the clean air beginning to pull away immediately. 6/10 already over Ryan as he heads into turn 7. And he is followed up by Ryan. Supa off wide. He's going to have a lot of trouble rejoining. Able to hang on to it without any contact. That's going to put Alex up into third. Vader a little wide. He's off into the grass. He saves it. But that's going to cost him momentum coming out onto this long back straightaway. Supa now under attack from Gremenos, already on the overtake. They're going to be side by side down into the turn 11 chicane. Looks like Supa's got a little less downforce on his car, so he was able to pull back ahead of Gremenos. And it looks like everyone has made it through fairly orderly so far. TWC has dropped back to 9th off the initial start. I assume he just ran a bit wide through the S's. Oh boy, hectic lap 1, but we are underway. Everyone is through in clean single file for the moment. And up front, S2K already a 1.6 second lead over Ryan, who in turn has now built up almost a second lead over Alex, who is now beginning to come under fire potentially from Vader as he's run a little bit cleaner sideways as he drops the left side tires off into the dirt again. Trying to close in on Alex, who is catching up to Ryan at the moment. Battle further back. Supa and Gremenos gonna fight it into turn 11 once again. Gremenos using a lot of overtake. Again, 200 seconds total to be used for the full race distance. 73 laps, got a long way to go. Got to use it sparingly if you're going to make overtakes happen. Tucked up under that rear wing, completely going into turn 1. And he's going to, Gremenos is going to drop back a little bit to get an ounce of clean air onto his nose as he continues to follow Supa. Vader running in 4th place and catching up to Alex at the moment. Had a great run through the S's that time, did the Foxhound driver. And he's again out onto the grass. Big save. Hangs on to it. That turn 8 and 9 really seemed to be a struggle for him at the moment. Just constantly putting 2 tires out into the grass as he's going to come under fire from Supa here. Supa on the overtake, already used a quarter of it. He's going to try to fire one up the inside. Vader late on the brakes. He's going to keep the nose in. Contact is made. Might have been a little bit of help from lag. Supa's going to drop down to 7th, potentially 8th. And staying in front of... no, he's going to come under attack from his teammate. As back up toward the front, Alex has gotten around Ryan. I assume Ryan had a time penalty going through the S's. And that allowed Alex to get through up into 2nd place. The Scorpio driver, Scorpio Esports has not yet, they have won a race. Excuse me, how could I forget? Payme winning Le Mans last year. But Alex going to try to fight for the 2nd win for Scorpio Esports. That is a great point from Ivan. Ryan currently running the medium tire. Alex on the soft race. Likely going to try to save it for the final stint as they did in Daytona. So we will keep an eye on Alex as we assume he will start to close in on S2K for that battle for the lead. Ryan now running 3rd, a second ahead of Gremenos, who is also on the soft tire. And a flying start for the 2 Scorpio drivers. running second and fourth at the moment. Great start to this race for them. Hopefully they'll be able to hang on to it. Vader also running the soft tire to start today's race. Supa on the medium. Guzman also on the medium. TWC with a half-second time penalty. He will also, also on the medium, as Payme has apparently gone off. He has dropped down to 11th, and he is in behind Method and just ahead of Ryberg, as Ekro runs back of the pack in 13th. I think that is Ekro. I might be confused. There's a lot of there's a lot of user tags that are not the same as what their Discord is, unfortunately. So I apologize if I am completely calling out the wrong driver. Greminos closing in on Ryan for the moment, 9/10ths back, and Ryan having just set a purple opening sector for himself. Perfect. Okay, thank you, Ivan, for the clarification. That is Sam for Simpulse in 13th. Ekro is the Foxhound driver who is not here today. My apologies for that. Thank you for the clarification. Alex seems to have stabilized his lap times with S2K. The soft tires now starting to wear out a little bit now. And pace beginning to even out between the soft and the medium for the two front runners. And of course, dirty air will also be starting to play a factor in that as well. Ryan beginning to pull away again from Greminos. I don't know why I thought that was him on the overtake buttons from the S's. I'm looking at the wrong spot. Greminos now starting to come under fire again from Vader, who seems to be given at least a little bit of, or trying to keep a little more of his tires on the actual road, going through turn 8 and 9. Definitely seems like he's lighter on downforce compared to Greminos. Perhaps Greminos running a little bit of a heavier downforce setup. One of the few things that these drivers can adjust on these setups. Again, a reminder to all those watching back at home. Only with the balance of performance turned on now for these races, they're much more limited for what these drivers can adjust on in terms of a setup. So realistically, I believe it's only ride height, downforce, differential, and I believe the roll bars, but might be something else that I'm thinking of. I think it's the spring rate is what I should be saying. For the back, Supa has managed to recover and has begun pulling away from Guzman once again. TWC has started catching back up to Guzman as well, trying to get back to the position where he qualified in that gold liveried car. Quackadilly running in 9th at the moment, 4 seconds up on Method, who's a further 4 seconds up on Rybird. Sam running in 12th, and Payme seems to have had another issue somewhere and is running in 13th. No damage on the car, but I would assume he's potentially gone for a spin somewhere. S2K having definitely pulled away from Alex now. The soft tires not lasting very long, it seems. Only going to be good for about 10 or so laps in terms of pace, usable pace over the medium. And now Ryan beginning to close back in, only 8/10ths back. Greminos still hanging on to the back end of him, though. So I wonder if, as it looks like Alex did in fact have a little bit of a trouble somewhere on that previous lap, 104.7, over a second down on his lap prior. And he's immediately found his pace once again. being 3.5 seconds back now from S2K, he will be in fully clean air as he continues to ride out this stint on the soft tire. Obviously, a bit of a nature just how much grip these cars have, but it's always just so impressive seeing how fast these drivers are able to take these corners. It's been a bit of a hot topic of discussion as of late on the social medias about racing games and the sense of speed. But you can certainly get that sense of speed in these cars, even if perhaps you can't get it as well in some of the others here on Gran Turismo 7. Ryan seems to have had a little bit of a hiccup somewhere. Greminos turning up the wick once again. He's within half a second of Ryan. Can Scorpio find two cars into the podium places here? Ryan goes has a big moment. What a save for Ryan as he's able to hang on to it. Looked like he might have dropped a wheel into the grass on the entry. My goodness me, that was a save and a half. Almost completely sideways it looked like as he crested the hill. We're gonna watch just to make sure Vader can't get around him. He had a big moment of oversteer though, got a little too eager on the power. Let's watch that back. So here we see him coming through turn 1. Very high speed, and he's gonna crest the hill here. Just got up on the entry curb. Very sideways. I don't know how the hell he managed to save that. But very well done to him in very impressive car control. And he will hang on to 4th place, but he has relinquished P3 to Greminos. And it is in fact a Scorpio 2-3. I think this might be the first time ever we've seen Scorpio Esports with 2 cars in the podium places during the race. Greminos still flying out there at the moment. I believe we talked about a few weeks ago. He was having these impressive results driving with a broken finger. I can only imagine it's been fully healed now, because he is absolutely flying out there today. I'm sure Ivan will be able to give us an update on that if he is in fact still driving injured, or if I'm mistaking him for a different Scorpio driver. Ryan hanging on to 4th place at the moment, beginning to pull back away from Vader. But Supa now closing in as he wants that 5th place back. Vader running it a little bit wide on the entry to turn 1. Gotta be careful to not drop a wheel into the grass. Very easy to spin the car here, pick up a track limit penalty otherwise. Able to pull away through the S's though, but that just a natural cause of how much dirty air these cars produce going through such a high-speed sequence of corners like that. Supa beginning to close in again. It looked like earlier he seemed to have one of the lightest, lowest amount of downforce on his cars, very trimmed out on the wings, which has allowed him to really close in through that final, down the back straightaway and through that final chicane. Certainly seems to have the car hooked up very well through that section. And through the S's. Didn't need to lift through there that time. A snap of oversteer. Just downshifted a little bit early, potentially. Had a little bit of a wheel hop. And that's going to allow Vader to pull away again, going through turns 8 and 9. And he will find himself once again about a second back as he comes onto the back straightaway. Up at the front, S2K now with a 6-second lead over Alex. The medium tire working well for him as he starts lap 15 of 73. Very rapidly clicking off the laps here today. Alex still running about 1.3 seconds ahead of Greminos, who has got 1.6 now on Ryan. I think that gap has, for the most part, stabilized. It looks like Ryan, though, slowly starting to close back in over the last couple of laps, running a few tenths faster here and there. Gotta be careful for track limits, though. Got very wide out of turn 7, and he did pick up a track limits penalty, so that's going to drop him right back again. All that time he made up for naught. As Greminos now actually only 8 tenths back from Alex. Well, both of them going to be thinking about making their first pit stops here in probably only a few laps from now. They'll both stay out at least one more lap as we begin lap 16 here. Ryan has held on to 4th despite serving the time penalty, but that has dropped him a further second back from the 2 Scorpio drivers. And Vader's still being hounded by Supa for 5th place. Further back, Guzman seems to be trying to catch back up to that battle for 5th, running in 7th at the moment. He is pulled away from TWC, who seems to have had a few hairy laps, although he's put in a very fast personal best that last time through. Purple sector for him now through the S's. Quackadilly running in 9th at the moment. He's a bit out on his own. Method in 10th. Sam in 11th, trying to hunt him down for that last top 10 spot. Rybird running 12th, and Paymay probably going to be soon to pit, running 13th, but fastest lap of the race last time by, despite very worn out softs. So Paymay's got pace, he just has to get up there to use it. Yellow flag is out, and it's Method! Method has gone for a spin, I believe, coming out of turn 8. Whether he dropped a tire into the grass or something else happened, we'll take a look back and see. As Vader is into the pits. First driver in, and he will be coming out a very long pit lane, and he is out of the pits onto the mediums. First driver to make a pit stop. Oh, but he's had a penalty. He crossed the pit entry line, and he's going to have a long wait ahead of him. And that might actually drop him back into the clutches of Rybird. Rybird only 3 and a bit seconds back. That'll be quite the slowdown for Vader here. As Paymay has caught up to the back of Method now. And Method's going to let him go. Great teamwork between the 2 Scorpio drivers. As Greminos now has closed within that second gap on Alex. Working lap 18 now. When do they come in to get off of those soft tires? As Ryan now is starting to be hunted down by Supa. No damage on Ryan's car. It just seems like a few scruffy laps from him the last couple of times by. Might have picked up yet another time penalty, potentially. And now Supa starting to get within range as battle for second. Greminos closing in. He will look to the inside, and I believe Alex actually just let him go. Down the back straightaway. Teamwork again from the Scorpio drivers working together as Alex is in fact going to come into the pits a lap earlier. We'll see what tires he goes to here in a few moments. Ryan's starting to pull back away from Supa, so I would assume it was in fact just another time penalty that dropped him back into the clutches. Piccadilly's gonna stay out another lap. He is on the medium though. And Alex is out onto the medium tire as well. No time penalty for him. He had a clean entry. So he should be very clearly ahead of Vader and is. Rybird actually running on the hard tire to start this race, so he's going a very long way, or trying to go a very long way into this one. And Vader has managed to hang on to that top 10 for the moment. Pei may be getting close in on Rybird as well. Only about a second back, but he will need to pit for new tires very shortly. As Gremnos into the pits, making his stop to get off the soft tire. And that'll be TWC up into the top 4. Where is Gremnos going to come out? I assume he will end up behind Alex, who should be able to undercut him on the softer, or the fresher, excuse me, medium tire. And Gremnos is out on another set of softs. And he is going to merge just in front of his teammate. Got to get those tires up to temp quick, but he is on the softer compound, so it should be that little bit easier. I'm surprised Alex wasn't able to get the undercut on Gremnos. I mean, obviously he let him go down the back straightaway on his in-lap. But with the pace advantage that he should have had just being on the fresher tire, I'm very surprised Gremnos was able to hang on to it. Very solid in-lap by the looks of things. 105.5 to 106.4. That would be why. Gremnos nearly a full second faster on his in-lap. So that just Guzman apparently has a suspension damage. Not sure where he's picked that up from. So that leaves our top 5 yet to pit, all currently on the medium tire. So let's go take a look back at what happened to Method a little while ago. Nope, I'm on the wrong car. My apologies. I just ran it wide going through turn 9. Very lazy spin, but that's a dangerous rejoin, trying to get turned back around in front of Rybird. We'll see what the stewards have to say about that one. Pei Mei finally into the pits to get off of those very worn out tires. Took them right down to the carcass on that one. Still ran a 105.6 though. But he is going to yield to the leaders with the blue flag. And I'm sure he's now going to try to get his lap back now that he's on those fresher and soft tires. Jump up to this battle for third as Supa trying to get in and attack Ryan. Fairly even for tire wear, and by the looks of it, I mean, we've had all this talk about tire war and whatnot. Scorpio bringing AMS in Bridgestone obviously found something in Autopolis that let them run him quite a ways longer, but looks like either Supa and his have found the tire tech, or I believe, actually, is he on Bridgestone as well? Or is that a Yokohama? Might be a Yokohama. Yokohama's evidently brought up fairly equal tire to the Bridgestone runners. And Guzman, yes, we did notice he had the suspension damage, but thank you for pointing that out, Ivan. TWC still running in 4th place. Actually currently with the fastest lap of the race on his medium tires. Very impressive to see out of him. Those are the Yokohamas. The Yokohama tires. The teal, the blue or teal, whatever you want to call it, sidewall on the tire. Perhaps Simpulse also having made the switch over to the Bridgestone rubber. As Method, we see getting out of the way of S2K, who's going to finally start to use a little bit of overtake. Get around him now with a 17-second lead over his teammate Ryan. Absolute dominant display so far here today, and only 24 laps into this one. Already closing in on a third distance into the race. He will stay out yet another lap. Probably going to expect him to run to round about lap 30 on the medium tire on the soft to satisfy the requirement. Would be my guess for his strategy. As Method has picked up damage, front wing damage somewhere, unfortunately. Payme back into the pits as well. He's got rear wing damage. Oh, did Payme and Method have a coming together, I wonder? Unfortunately, we're a bit too late to catch it. But rear wing and front wing damage, I wonder if Method ran into the back of Payme, potentially. They will both exit the pits onto another set of softs. Very strange. He was letting S2K by and evidently went off circuit. Very unfortunate. Very curious then what happened to Payme then. If it wasn't contact between the two cars. Supa, it seems, doesn't look like he's quite able to close the gap anymore on Ryan at the moment, just seemingly stuck in the dirty air. So we might need to try to think about either an undercut or an overcut to try to jump him in the pit lane, if he's going to try to make up ground that way. TWC still running in 4th place, but I believe he is pulling away from Guzman at the moment, but he is being caught by Greminos, who has just set the new fastest lap of the race, so 102.5. He is pulling away from Alex, who set his best lap a few laps ago, 102.8. Both of them, however, slowly closing in back onto the battle for the podium places. A little bit of a slide there from Alex as he got back on throttle. A little blip exiting turn 8, going into 9. Now onto the back straightaway as Greminos now going to come up on a lap car. No, that is Guzman. That is for position. Now we will see how much the dirty air starts to affect him. TWC, first of the medium runners into the pits. Guzman again staying out despite the front suspension damage he currently has. Greminos now 1 second back from that 4th place position now. Supa closing in again a little bit closer to Ryan this time down the back straightaway. 0.6 back, not using the overtake just yet. Doesn't think he's close enough to worry about trying to drain it, get a little bit closer, think about a move just yet. As Ryan got a very good exit out of the chicane, and he will re-extend that gap back to about 0.6 before slipstream kicks in. And Supa starts to catch back up. Supa is really strong through turn 1, just closing in on Ryan despite the dirty air. I think Ryan right now might be in a bit of a fuel safe mode as we see the move for P4. Greminos able to get around Guzman, and he will take that spot again, running the soft tire. So we'll see how that strategy evolves for him. As S2K into the pits to make his first stop of the race. And he should come out ahead of both Ryan and Supa, who are both going to come into the pits anyway. So all three of the current podium sitters, or net podium sitters, into the pits. S2K finally out and on to another set of mediums, as we anticipated a couple laps earlier than my lap 30 prediction. Gremnos is back into second, Alex is back into third, and we'll see where Ryan ends up landing here compared to Vader. He should come out ahead of the Foxhound driver, and does. As does Supa, who is still just a little ways back from Ryan, both of whom on the medium, and Vader has put himself back up into 6th place. Guzman out of the pits, and just behind his teammate Sam for 8th and 9th. Guybird finds himself back into the top 10, still yet to pit on the hard tire. And Crocodile exits the pits in 11th, and quite a ways away, or quite a ways ahead, excuse me, of Peme, who is the is he the first car one lap down? Yes, he is the first car one lap down. So that leaves S2K 9 seconds ahead of Gramenos, who we would expect to close in for at least a few more laps here on the soft tire. But S2K with quite a large margin still to play with, so certainly able to just cruise for the time being. Alex giving a little blip of the overtake button on the exit of the corner. And what a great shot that was of three of the Scorpio cars down the back straightaway. As the battle now for 4th resumes between Ryan and Supa. Supa did very well entering the chicane there. Ryan had a bit of a moment as he turned back for the second apex. Still about 5/10 ahead. Let's see, is Supa able to stay close to him again this time through turn 1? Yes. Ryan doesn't really seem to want to use all of the track to his advantage going through turn 1. Supa, though, very wide as he got a bucket load of dirty air going into the S's, and that's going to drop him to a full second back. I will say, this battle, as it continues to heat up, certainly not quite as explosive as we saw between Ryan and Nico here last season, but certainly heating up nonetheless. As we look a little bit further forward, is Ryan closing in on Alex? Yes, but not by much. Peme, meanwhile, will briefly mention another fastest lap for him on the soft tire, a 101.6. Great lap for him. I'm assuming that used a little bit of overtake for that lap as well, though. This could be a very intriguing battle for the podium places here today. We mentioned right before we went green how both the Scorpio and Simpulse teams were looking to find some good results to try to put themselves back into contention for the title fight for the team's championship. Certainly Scorpio, especially with 2 cars in the podium places for now, looking at like a great result for them as long as they can keep it there. Still a long ways to go, though. Not even halfway yet. Although we are getting very close. Should be, I believe it's about lap 37 should be a halfway point.
start of lap 37, I should say. The gap between Alex and Ryan seems to have stabilized for the most part. Just hanging around 8.1, 8.3 seconds, depending on what part of the circuit they're at. Gramenos again doing very well, although he has run only the soft tire up to this point. So very curious to see what his tire strategy is going to be like to the end of this race. Don't think he's going to be able to get these tires quite far enough to make one stint on the medium, so he might be doing an extra pit stop compared to some of the other drivers, as we see him putting Sam a lap down. S2K now having lapped Quackadilly, and he's going to set his sights after Ryberg will be his next target. Now boasting an 11.3 second lead over the rest of the field. I can't say that we should expect to see a huge margin of victory like perhaps at Bathurst last season, where I believe it was Nico took the victory by about a 40-second advantage over the rest of the field. But could we see that type of domination from S2K here today? Again, going for that elusive fourth win in a row. Already up to a 12.5 second lead, on pace for another personal best lap for him. Looks like Alex is beginning to close back in on Gramenos as the soft tires begin to fade. Ryan, though, has taken another second out of the gap to third, so he is beginning to catch. Payme did pick up a track limit penalty there. You would have seen him serve it as we cut over to Ryan. And Supa just ever continuing to lurk in the mirrors as they see the blue flags for, I believe it would be Payme ahead. No, it is for Ryberg, who has just exited the pits. Well, Ryberg stuck in a real crummy spot trying to get out of the way. He does so just about, but that's going to allow Supa to stay a lot closer to Ryan. Nothing really of Ryberg's fault, just very unfortunate place for the leaders to catch as he came out of the way from Supa, and he's going to use a little bit of the overtake to really hammer home that gap to him. Perhaps a bigger detriment to him, though, is the fact that he has lost about half a second to Alex. As now we have reached the halfway point of this race. A lot of drivers that perhaps you don't normally see running in the top 10 having very good runs here today. Supa has had a very back and forth season, obviously won the opening race in Bathurst in slightly controversial conditions, but nothing we can do about lag, unfortunately. Still put on a great race for himself regardless. Was equally fast at round 2 in, where did we go for Fuji. Just a very costly, unfortunate mistake for him when he dropped it in the drying conditions there. Had looked like he was in a bit of trouble for pace at Autopolis, but was able to find quick enough lap time to get him ahead of the midfield in the dying moments. Came home 4th place, and nearly, with another lap, I think he would have likely gotten around Larson there as well. And obviously Daytona didn't quite have the pace, but then had an absolutely awful wreck going into the bus stop. Just one of the hardest wrecks we've seen in the series. Something like 160 miles an hour into the tire wall. Completely rode off the car. And would retire from the race soon after. It certainly seems to be back on form here today, so here's hoping he'll be able to carry this through for the remainder of the season. It should be very fun, as I believe in a couple weeks' time we will be heading off to possibly one of the best fictional tracks in Gran Turismo 7. Find the calendar, and yes, we are off to Lago Maggiore on the 9th of May. Kicking off an absolutely fantastic month of May. Looking very much forward to that. And then after that, we, of course, yeah, how could we forget the barnstormer we had last season when the top three were all under a blanket and the tires coming down to a carcass at Barcelona. So be sure to tune in for that one. The greatest weekend in motorsports. Canadian Grand Prix, real-life Canadian Grand Prix, Indianapolis 500, Coca-Cola 600. It is all kicking off that Memorial Day weekend. We are looking forward to it. It looked like that was Hayme with the time penalty back there? Yes, it was. And Rybert's actually going to get around him, running the medium tire. Hayme, oh no, Hayme has picked up hefty damage. Rear wing and rear suspension. So he's going to come back in and fix that. Rough day for Hayme here today. Hopefully, we'll see him back out next time in Lago Maggiore, and we'll have a better run going for him then. Battle for second, heating up. Gramenos, his tires getting down to the carcass. Not got much left in him. Alex is closing in. Do we see another swap of positions like we did last time these two came into the pits? Nope, Gramenos is going to stay ahead, but he is going to dive into the pit lane. Should be good on the pit entry lines. He will jump in for, I would hope, a set of the mediums. And going to try to run... You know, he might be able to stretch medium tire stint 32 laps. It would certainly be a stretch, but we saw S2K go 29 laps on his medium tires and on much heavier fuel. Oh, and Gramenos, I cursed it, didn't I? Excuse me. He did pick up the 3 seconds for the pit entry line. So that's going to hurt him quite a bit. Now you got to wonder, will he be able to stay ahead of Ryan once they come into the pits? So Alex now finds himself back in clean air, 3 and a bit seconds ahead of Ryan. I did say Alex was second, right? Oh, okay. Reiterate, take 2. Alex running second, 6 and a bit ahead of Ryan in P3. Supa has seemed to fallen off of the back of Ryan finally, and not quite able to stay in that dirty air for too long. Vader runs 5th, but he is being hunted down by TWC. Can he find himself into the top 5 by the end of it here today? Guzman still running 7th, hasn't repaired that front suspension damage. Either he thinks it's not affecting him, maybe he thinks it's actually helping him. Either way, he is hanging on to 7th, but he has got a hard charging Greminos behind him on fresh tires. If Greminos wants that podium, he's going to need to dispatch Guzman pretty quickly here. Further back, Quackadilly still running in 9th for the moment. Sam running in the 10th place position. Rybird has kept himself in 11th. He still has a soft tire to run before the end of this race, though. And then Method and Payme bringing up the rear of the field. It looks like Alex is beginning to catch up to the back of Quackadilly here. Near enough seconds back from S2K as he continues to run out front. And both of them actually look to be pretty even on fuel at the moment. S2K just out for I'd say a Sunday drive, but it is Saturday, so a Saturday drive, we'll say. Out cruising at the moment. Not a care in the world, it seems, for our championship leader. For, at the moment, what looks to be potentially one of his easiest wins on the season. Which, you know what, after the drive he put in last week at Daytona to close up a 25-second lead in the second half of a race, you know, I think he's deserved it. Gap coming down for Ryan as he's closed nearly within 5 seconds of Alex. And now has a 2-second lead over Stupa, running in 4th. We have a brief hiatus in the action. Folks at home, as always, feel free, if you have any suggestions on how we can try to improve the stream, whether it be audio balance or other suggestions, as always, feel free to let us know in the chat. Your comments are always so greatly appreciated. Especially for me personally, streaming is not something I typically do on a week-to-week basis. All the streaming I do is for these broadcasts here for you on the Scorpio Esports channel, so any and all help is always greatly appreciated. So we thank you all for tuning in, as always, and certainly enjoying a great race by the looks of things here. I think we had someone run off the track. Yes, we did. Payme pulled off to the side. Doesn't look like he's picked up damage, so I assume he's just gone for a bit of a spin. That, or he pulled off to the side just to park and let the train of cars through. I knew I saw a yellow flag pop up. I'm glad it wasn't too much of an incident. Ryan continuing to hunt down Alex for second place. Under 5 seconds now, and he has taken chunks of time out of it. I say taking chunks of time out of it. It looked like they ran a pretty even lap time that last time by. Although Ryan would have had a little bit more lap traffic to deal with. Certainly now that he's got the clean air right back on the pace. Only a 10th down off his personal best, which he set only a few laps ago. sticking with Greminos here as he runs in 7th. He has dispatched Guzman with relative ease, running in the 103.7s. However, Ryan is running in the 103.4s. So even with the 3-second penalty that Greminos did need to serve after his pit stops, I think that does mean he has fallen out of the podium places and should be running potentially behind Supa now at this point. Supa having also set a very recent personal best lap and on for another potentially. Payme, I believe, has gone and set another fastest lap at some point. Now down to a 101.666. Ryan now closing into just 4 seconds back from Alex. He might not be showing the greatest outright pace out of anyone in the field, but by golly, Ryan is certainly being very consistent with it as he sets another 103.0. Doing very well to avoid that first apex curb, try to make sure he doesn't risk any track limits. Supa has closed in by about half a second over the last couple of laps. Actually just ran a 102.8 last time by. A little bit of cloud cover starting to fall over the track. Perhaps is that going to help Supa find a little bit more pace here. Ever-changing track conditions with how closely knit all these drivers are. Just a 1 or 2 degree change in track temp can really make all the difference for a setup. Vader has apparently crashed. Oh no. He has picked up front wing damage. He already crashed by the point of the replay, unfortunately. That's a shame. Man, he was having such a good run too, looking for a potential top 5. Looks like he's just nosed it into the wall somewhere. That's such a shame, and he is going to come into the pits here. Oh, that will go a lap down as well. "23 laps to go. I would assume he goes for another set of mediums and just runs it to the end here. And he will exit the pits in 8th place, and like we did say, on another set of mediums. Guzman still runs 7th. Again, that front suspension damage not seemingly enough to bother him. And you would have seen Greminos up the road from him, 2 and a bit seconds ahead. Hunting down, or trying to hunt down TWC. But credit to him, the newcomer, he's got a lot of pace and he's showing it off. Despite the older tires, he is running a little bit faster than Greminos is. I think realistically, if Greminos wants a chance at even a top 5 at this point, he's going to need to run these mediums all the way to the end of the race. Another 20 laps on those tires, man, that might stink for him. Further up the road once again, Supa trying to get back within a second of Ryan, who is now nearly 3 seconds back from Alex, continuing to close in. Had a few good laps running in the low 103s, but now seems to have settled back into the 103.5s for the most part. Still running a couple tenths a lap faster than Alex, who is catching up to Vader, who should be getting blue flags in a moment. If he hasn't gotten them already. So coming around to 21 laps to go here. Realistically, if he wants to put on another set of the soft tire, probably needs to go at least another 2 laps, maybe 3 on these tires. Which I think will be the plan for just about everyone here. Everyone trying to run it long enough to do one final 15 to 17 lap stint on the softs. And Alex seems to have run a bit of a better lap than Ryan that last time. Nope, not that. I wonder if Ryan might have had a little bit of a moment through the S's potentially. We'll see what his lap time is this time by. Does it look like he was a bit close? Yeah, he's a second down. He had a moment somewhere. Didn't pick up a time penalty for it, but he certainly lost ground to Alex. Because that gap had been down to 3 seconds even, but is now back to 3.2, which to lose a second on a lap and still be basically the same distance back from the guy ahead, that's how you know you've got a really strong pace advantage. TWC into the pits. Very curious to see what tires he will have gone for what could be potentially his final stop of the race. Vader has let Alex go, but he is now going to be coming under fire from Ryan. And TWC is out onto the soft tire. Very interesting. Looking back to this battle for second. I think Ryan potentially had another moment again. For whatever reason, he just can't seem to get through turn 7 very well. Coming out of the S's, that seems to be where Alex makes up a lot of his time, although he lost a lot of ground that time on the exit. And that would have been why. You can see his tires really starting to hurt now. Window is open. Alex realistically needs to get into the pits ASAP. And he will jump into the pit lane. He will finally get off of those medium tires. And he should be going on a set of softs to the end here. So now the real battle begins here. Can Ryan put in a fast enough in lap and try to jump Alex? Or can Alex have a fast enough out lap to stay ahead of Ryan? This battle for second is heating up a treat here. Alex out of the pits. Yellow flag ahead. Trying to find who it was. I believe it might have been Sam ran off track. He's allowed Alex through. He is currently holding up Gramenos. And Gramenos would have lost quite a bit of time through that excursion. But he is back up into 5th place. He's back up into 5th. And Supa is into the pits. Ryan has stayed out again. So this is now Supa trying to undercut Ryan in the pit lane. this is what we also need to watch for. Where does he blend in relation to Alex? He's going to be dealing with a little bit of dirty air from Rybird potentially here as Rybird gets the blue flag. Supa exits the pits. Oh, this is going to be very close between him and Alex. No, it's going to be close between him and Gremnos. Supa does jump out of the way as the yielding car, and that puts him right onto the gearbox of Gremnos. He was able to hang on to it. He's found enough lap time to be able to stay ahead of Supa. There's Ryan into the pits. Ooh, that might be touch and go for the pit entry line. That could be costly for Ryan, as he will exit the pits now. S2K still yet to pit. As we will watch Gremnos and Supa. Supa still has a little bit of fuel to save here. Gremnos is good. No, Gremnos also has a little bit of fuel he needs to save too. Ryan is out of the pits. It is going to be very close between him and Alex. Side-by-side contact made. Ryan through the block to hold on to second place. And that has backed Alex right back up into Gremnos and Supa. He exited the pits cleanly. And then he ran a defensive line over the crest of the hill, trying to make sure Alex couldn't get around him. Alex had to jump on the anchors, make sure he didn't run into the back of him. Cannot afford to pick up damage at this point in the race. As Supa now looking to find his way around Gremnos, who's going to go defensive to the inside. It's not going to matter, though. Oh, contact! Alex has gone off! Was that lag again? What on earth has just happened? It looked like Supa was late on the brakes, got around to get around Gremnos. And I don't know if there was a lap car involved in that as well. What on earth has happened to Alex? Rear wing damage. He's been taken out of contention. It looked like it was going to be a strong result and a strong chance at a podium. What has happened here? You see him coming down into the chicane. Yeah, what horrible lag. It's just nothing he could do about that. Just absolute utter shame. Just a horrible lag spike. Sees him get sent off into the gravel track. Into the gravel trap. And now it's going to be a fight for him to try to get back into the top 5, potentially, maybe. I don't think he's going to be able to find 20 seconds, though. I think he's going to have to settle for 6th place, unfortunately. Oh, that's absolutely gut-wrenching for him. Supa, fortunately for him, has once again managed to get away without damage in a lag punt incident. I mean, I don't really think there was anything Supa could have done about that either. I mean, the way he took the corner, it's not like he outbroke himself. Just an unfortunate circumstance of he was making a pass and the game thought he kept going. And just straight through the back of Alex. We'll see what the stewards have to say, but I think they're going to chalk that one up once again to another case of just highly unfortunate lag. So that leaves Ryan still running in 2nd place. Currently being held up a little bit by Method, which has allowed Supa to close in. Method does jump out of the way now. But Supa now is only half a second back from Ryan. Can he get a good enough exit, try to maybe think about a pass. No, Ryan got a very good exit out of turn 9. And then we see Gramenos now picking up, or getting around his teammate. TWC at the moment running 102s, basically high 102s, to Gramenos running in the low 103s. So he's running a little bit faster per lap, but probably not enough to make up that 11-second gap, especially before the tires completely fall off. Alex is up into second place now once again. I think realistically his only real hope now is going to be trying to maybe find a fastest lap somewhere. S2K has already made his final stop, and he's run a 1:989 fastest lap of the race, and by quite a margin. My goodness. Obviously he will have used a bit of overtake on that lap. That is an absolute stonking lap out of the championship leader. Seems to have made a little bit of mistake on the previous lap though, so potentially pushing a little bit too hard trying to find the lap time. I think he might be at this point trying to eclipse the record for in the series for biggest margin of victory. 35 seconds ahead of his teammate, who has been caught up in battles all race long, to be fair. Everyone running 103s now, very low 103s, to S2K still running in the low 102s. Using all the track and then some. And that is Ivan with the stat book. It was a 41-second margin of victory last season at Bathurst. He's got 9 laps next time by to find 5 seconds. Now, Supa could help him with that record if he's able to get close enough to Ryan and they start battling. I don't know if that was an accidental press of the overtake button there between turns 8 and 9, but that doesn't seem like a very opportune place to use it. And it looks like Ryan once again with a very good exit out of that corner and onto the back straight. And more importantly, he does still have quite a bit more overtake to use than Supa. Probably around about 25% still advantage over Supa. So give or take about 50 seconds of overtake by comparison. Gramenos still running in 4th place, but only 9 seconds now ahead of TWC. Again, on his debut race, looking to put himself into 4th place. And I don't think enough can be said just how impressive of an opening race this has been for TWC. Again, only signed up maybe a few hours before today's running, and has come out of the blocks with such great pace already. So kudos to him. Obviously still a few laps to go here before the end, so as long as nothing happens to him, a very impressive result, and I'm sure one he'll be very proud to take home. No silverware on debut, but still a top 5 with competition as close as this. Still very impressive as he gets around Vader there, who has made yet another stop. And Vader on the soft tire, looking to go for a fastest lap attempt of his own. Might be worth him trying to drop back away from TWC in order to get a bit of clean air on his nose to make that happen. S2K now with a 38-second lead over Ryan as we begin to approach 6 laps to go, I believe. Yeah, it'll be 6 laps to go next time by at the line. And goes through the S's and then through turns 8 and 9. If he can be this close to Ryan exiting onto the back straight, he might have a chance. 4/10 back. He's got to try to keep it as close as he can, but that dirty air continuing to be a problem for him. We know he's running a little less downforce than the AMS boys, which is really helping him here close up on the straights. And again, he seems to be so strong through turn 1. It's just through the S's and then the south half of the course, it's just very difficult for him. Try to make up or stay close enough to make a pass. You see again, actually Ryan a little better through turn 1 that time. Supa now a little bit further back, but this could be better for him. He's going to lose a little less time now that he's got at least some air on the nose of his car. He is still going to lose a couple tenths here. Might also just be the setup of his car. He's not very happy through those 2 corners. So Ryan running a 103.4. S2K currently running a 102.8, very high 102s now. Still got plenty of tire, as he's going to come around to 4 laps to go here at Road America, or sorry, Road Atlanta. Yeah, it was 39 and a bit seconds there. As it looks like TWC's tires have finally started to fall off, as we see Vader jumping out of the way of someone up ahead. That was Method up ahead that he got out of the way of. Seconds. Gap back to second for S2K. He could certainly cruise it home at this point, but he's going to continue pushing. He wants the stat book. Over 40 seconds now, and with 3 laps to go. He should very easily be able to hang on to the pace. It'll just come down to whether or not the lap cars get in the way, which they don't. Paymace did very well to stay completely out of the way there. As we'll look back, this battle for second, Supa still trying to get at Ryan. A little bit of fog falling over the track, but I think it's a bit late for the potential for rain to intervene. I don't think this track has a rain option to begin with. There you see Supa once again getting to within about 4/10 of a second as they come into turns 2 and 3, the crest of the hill. It's just, I'm not really able to get any closer than this. Again, pitted a lap earlier than Ryan, so Ryan has the fresher tires. And he was able to try to get a better exit or better entry, excuse me, going into turn 9. It's just, for whatever reason, he can't seem to get on the power as nicely as Ryan. Closing in again, trying to get close enough. He has saved, to his credit, he has saved a lot of his overtake. He's been very careful about trying to use it too early. Just using it on the exits of a few corners. Keep Ryan honest. And Ryan has used up his advantage. They are pretty much even for the overtake button. But Supa was very wide into the S's. He's going to lose a bit of time here. And I think that might be all she wrote in his challenge for second here. S2K on to his final lap of the race. We talked about it at the top of the show, that elusive 4th in a row. So few drivers in real life have been able to achieve that. That was a hard wreck in the back. Payme. Oh my goodness. Huge wreck in the back. He will stay out of the way, but my goodness me, he had a wall up into the wall. But as I was saying, that elusive 4th win in a row. So few drivers being able to achieve it in real life. Today, we get to see what some of the finest talent in the Scorpio Super Formula Series achieve it for himself. S2K 4 in a row from Road Atlanta. And Ryan now 7 and a bit tenths ahead of Supa. He's had a problem somewhere further back. Well, before this race ends, let's try to see if we can get a replay of what happened to Payme. They're coming down through the S's. He got up on the curb and he just lost the back end. My goodness, spun all the way across the track. Hard hit for him to end this race, but glad he was at least able to limp it back home. Not the race he would have wanted. Over 4.5 minutes behind S2K and 4 laps down. So that'll be one to forget for Payme. Ryan brings it home, second place. Supa once again onto the podium. Gramenos brings it home in 4th, the lead Scorpio driver. TWC, congrats to him on a fantastic debut performance into the top 5. All right, folks, we'll mention it once again. If you have any questions for our podium sitters, be sure to drop it into the stream chat, and we'll see if we can get to them. We will be back. Post-race interviews coming up in just a few moments. Hello.
Yo.
How's it going?
It's all right.
Hello, Blade.
How's it going?
Pretty good. How about you, Blade?
You know what? I'm doing pretty good.
Heck yeah. What's up, Supa?
Yo.
It looks like you guys were having a fun race. I kept looking at the mini map. I wanted to see what was going on.
Yep. 73 laps of just staying
Straight
behind.
battle.
Man, that was a race.
That was something else.
Man, Super, you were smelling what I had for lunch for like 50 laps there. Like, you were so close the entire time.
Yeah.
Man, good race.
Good race.
All right. So obviously, folks at home, as you can hear, we've got all 3 of our podium sitters in the VC. So I suppose we'll start off Supa, third place, a strong showing for you here today. Obviously, a lot better than the unfortunate turn of events at Daytona. Uh, Walk us through it from your perspective. Obviously, stuck behind Ryan for, as you would have heard, basically the entire race. How much of obviously Dirty Air must have been playing a factor. Just how much of a factor do you think it potentially hindered you from being able to make the fight for second today?
It was definitely the main factor because, I mean, this is all high-speed corners, and so you can't even get within like half a second without your car just understeering. And that's what happened to me in lap one, where I was behind Ryan, and I just went off at the S's because I just underestimated how much or overestimated how much grip I had and lost a bunch of places. But yeah, with dirty air on this track, it's pretty much impossible to overtake without like a significant pace advantage.
All right. Well, we then saw in the final stops you pitted a lap earlier than Ryan. Was that an attempt to try to undercut him? Obviously, you ended up stuck behind Gramenos on the pit exit, which I would assume would have likely ruined that any chance of that happening.
Yeah, that was my plan to undercut, but I came up behind Alex and Gramenos, unfortunately, so couldn't do much there. Even though Gramenos was on mediums, it still took me like a lap to pass him, or 2 laps to pass him. And yeah, I also pulled the handbrake on accident on pit exit, trying to hit my overtake, but yeah.
All right. And then last question for you. We saw a bit of an incident going into the turn 10 hairpin. Looked like it was yet another lag spike as you were trying to go around the outside of Gramenos. Just for whatever reason, Alex getting punted into off into Narnia. Was there anything you saw from your end that would have said otherwise, or was it just another case of lag?
Yeah, just another case of net code. Same thing that happened in Australia and happened here again, which sucks. But yeah, nothing you can do in this game. It just has a lot of lag, so yeah, I wasn't even trying to go for a move. I was trying to overtake Gramenos, and then Alex is there in front of me, and he just flies off the track. But yeah, I didn't hit him on my screen.
All right. Well, congratulations, P3 once again for you. Another strong result and another great haul of points. Obviously, highly unfortunate with the lag, but glad you were able to bring it back home once again. Moving on to our second place finisher. Goodness, excuse me, Ryan. Obviously, a bit of a hectic race for you, given that you had Supa all over your gearbox for seemingly the entire race. What was that like from your perspective? Obviously, you had the benefit of your car giving off the dirty air, but was there anything you were doing from your own end to help defend from him, or is it you could just leave it all up to the dirty air to defend for you?
Yeah, it was mostly the dirty air doing the defending for me. I once, like, when he was, like, really, really close, like, mid-stint, I pressed the boost button for maybe, like, half a second just to get a better drive off the corner. But other than that, it was mostly the dirty air doing the heavy lifting with defense. And, yeah, that's pretty much it with it, really. And then, well, yeah.
Obviously, we talked about the incident that seemed to have taken Alex out of contention for the podium. Was there any? Was there any? What's the word I'm looking for? What the words? Goodness gracious! I'm all over the place today.
It's okay,
Was
take
there
your time.
was there any worry or concern that he might have been able to get back or stay ahead of you in the pit cycle, or were you confident that you could overcut him?
There was a concern at first when he came in. He was like 1.7 in front of me, something like that. And he came in 2 laps before me. It's like, okay, he's going to have the undercut advantage. So that's when I started using more of the boost button on that lap. And then when Supa hit the very next lap, I was like, okay, boost button, I hope you like being pressed very hard because I basically held it most of the lap to get that overcut. And then with the incident, I actually didn't even see what happened. I was going to go look at the replay right now to go see what happened. But I just remember going through the final section of the track and seeing a car on my radar go flying off the track. So I'm yet to see what has happened.
All right. Well, fortunately, we were able to actually catch it on the stream for once, so that was very glad that happened. Obviously, ended up finishing. What I'm kicking myself for missing what the end gap ended up being, but S2K
It was
did
like
say
41 seconds, yeah.
Was it 41 or did it get to 42?
It was something like that.
There was like borderline 42. It was like 41.7, I think.
Okay. Well, details to be confirmed. It's highly likely S2K will have broken the Brands Hatch record for biggest margin of victory in a race. Obviously, you mentioned a couple races ago needing to find the pace to keep up with S2K. Is this does this potentially knock the confidence at all a little bit, or is it just a case of you were a little behind the setup today, or is there anything else you could have done to try to keep the gap a bit closer?
One, I didn't get the amount of practice that like I would really wanted to for this track, but a lot of different factors came into that. But I think the other thing was like 30 minutes before the race, I was doing setup stuff because I did not like how like through the fast like right hander in the first sector, like at the top of the hill, the car would kind of like porpoise through there and it would bounce as you turn in, which I found very annoying and why it was crashing so much in practice. And I had to make some adjustments to make it not do that as much. And once I figured it out and got that fixed, it was a lot more consistent for me. It was a little bit slower because what I had to do, but it was a lot more consistent, which is what mattered.
All right. Well, congratulations once again. Another AMS 1-2 finish. Brought it home second place. Yet another great haul of points. And with Larson not here today, I believe you three are now the top three in the championship. So congrats to you all for that. Moving on, of course, we'll get to S2K. Domination is the word of the day, apparently. Although after the performance last week, cutting out a 25-second lead in half the race distance, potentially deserved, we'll say. Also, means you have broken the 4-in-a-row buffer, and you now hold an over 50% win rate in the Scorpio Super Formula Series. So just tell us what that means to you.
I mean, it means a lot. I mean, a lot of time and effort goes into this series, and it's something I love and I like to dedicate myself to. And I kind of devote myself to always be better, and this race was definitely one of them. Like this race especially, it was really difficult to get the consistent laps down, and this whole race I didn't have one slip-up, one mistake, one penalty, nothing. And that's the kind of performances I want to be doing all the time. And as I said, like last week in the first half, obviously, that's not really the goal I was doing. I was spitting out, getting penalties, making mistakes. But when everything really comes together, that's the most fulfilling feeling for me, is just driving perfect. I mean, obviously, not everyone's going to drive perfectly. Neither did I today. I maybe made a little bit of like teeny mistakes. I could have gone maybe, I don't know, a second faster total. But again, the feeling of driving perfect means a lot, and especially the 50% win rate kind of reflects my effort, so it means a lot.
Obviously, we heard Ryan just mention setup changes 30 minutes before the session and how it would have slowed his car down pace-wise, but made it more consistent. Was that something that you were having a little trouble with too in that section of the track, or were you able to kind of drive around it to keep peak pace?
I apologize for cutting off, but
no, it's all good.
It was an issue in practice because it's like it was kind of spontaneous. It was just randomly, sometimes the car would just plow and then sometimes it would over rotate. But I was kind of like underdriving the corner a bit, and I felt like it was helping. I mean, I don't really know if I resolved the issue. It happened to me once in the race, but I mean, for the rest of the race, I was pretty much fine. So I was just kind of taking it a little bit easy through that corner, and I felt like it was okay. And I was really comfortable with my setup. I mean, it was amazing. So, yeah, I mean, was an issue, but was able to drive around it.
All right, and then a couple questions in the chat for you. We'll
Okay.
start off with what is your mentality during these races, and how are you able to, or how do you manage to keep focus for yourself in the heat of battle?
I'll ask the second question, or I'll answer the second question first. The thing that keeps me focused is in the race, I keep setting goals for myself. For example, in the beginning, I was like pulling away. My goal was by lap 10 to try to eke out at least like a couple seconds of a gap, so I have a nice, comfortable buffer. And then as the race kind of went on and we started getting the lap cars, I'm like, okay, I want to catch this lap car by this point. And then if I got to them by that point, that means I'd be really good and I wouldn't really get dirty air from them. So it's like always setting a goal and always kind of having a reference, I find, is kind of what keeps me focused. And also, I was looking at the battle between Supa, Gramenos, and Ryan. I kept looking at the mini map. I'm like, what's going on? And I see them like nose to tail and like the what's called the main straightaway, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be a little bit interesting. Let's see what happens. So it's like always kind of focusing on something else, and the mentality aspect, like the aspect is, I always, again, as you said, I try to dominate, and I'm not trying to come off as like cocky or brash, but that's the goal, and I want my races to be boring because that makes my life a lot easier, and also shows, again, like what I was telling you earlier, was all my efforts are being put into one race, and it's becoming like a little masterpiece. It's pulling that gap made my race so comfortable, and with those little, objectives or little goals in the race helped me keep focus, and ended up with a good result. So I hope that answered your question.
Well, it's actually perfect because it ties into the second part of the question the chat has asked. When you have a gap as large as you did today, is there any part of you that thinks maybe I should back off a little, just preserve and make sure I don't make a mistake somewhere? Or are you looking to take a couple more risks and try to make that gap even larger?
Um, I would like to finish with a bigger gap. To be honest, I didn't realize I would have had the record of the biggest gap in Super Formula, or in the Scorpio Super Formula series, but I always want to have a big gap because, I mean, no offense to my, rivals here, but it's it shows like kind of who's running the show in a way. And again, I really don't mean to be cocky or brash, but it's like it shows people like that you're like dominating. And let's say if I end up in a scenario where I'm like fifth and there's a car in front of me in fourth, automatically they're going to be intimidated because they know your capability, they know how good you are, and if I keep doing races like this, it keeps building my confidence and building others' confidence in me and my ability, which makes my racing in the future a lot easier. So, yeah, I hope that answered your question.
All right. Well, obviously, in a couple weeks, we head over to one of Gran Turismo's greatest fantasy tracks in Lago Maggiore. I'm curious to get all three of your perspectives on it. Uh, Obviously, a track we haven't been to yet in the series. What is it going to be like? Do we think Dirty Air is going to be as big of a hindrance as it was today?
I'll let Supa go first if he's still here, because I kind of talked a lot.
Uh, I'll let Ryan go.
Okay. I would say probably not. Maggior's got very wide track and a lot of high-speed corners that again are very wide. So I think you'll be able to take a lot of alternate lines to stay closer to the car. So I think Maggior would be a nice track for to watch basically because you're going to have a lot of on-track battles. I think with how close you'll be able to stay. Because a lot of the corners are easily flat, even with like minimum front downforce on the car. So I think it'll be a fun one for sure.
All right, looking forward to it then. I want to thank you, all three of you again for jumping into the call with me, do post-race interviews. For the folks at home, be sure to go check out in the Scorpio Esports Discord as Scorpio driver Tim Larson is racing in the top split of iRacing Super Formula. So be sure to go check that out, and we wish him the best of luck. That will do it for us here on Gran Turismo here today. Thank you all once again so much for tuning in. It is always a pleasure to broadcast these races for you. And again, tune in May 9th as we head over to Italy for Lago Maggiore. Should be an exciting one, as you just heard. I've been Scorpio Blade. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We will see you in a couple of weeks. Goodbye.